Hello and welcome to another YuGiOh video, and today we are at the UK National Championship with Sev Furtek, who managed to get top 64 with what deck?
I played P.U.N.K Adventure, like the Synchro deck with Sangan. I lost in top 64 unfortunately to a friend playing the mirror match, so good luck to him in the rest of the event. I think he's in top 16 right now. But yeah, shoutouts first or?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool, so thank you YuGiOh for having me on the channel. Shout out Sneak Attack Games, my locals and my team. Shout out Sammy for lending me cards. Shout out RG Cards and Supplies. Shout out Giles and Charlie, the boys, for testing. Shout out Dan, Ben and Alan for testing. Shout out Richard Sanders, and shout out Mum, Rob and Abby, and shout out Joe for beating me with Nordics. Not this Joe though, different Joe. Alright, calm, let's get into the list. So, we played 3 Sangan and 1 Arborea. This is full combo by itself, and if you draw like a tuner extend to make Hulk, you can search like a hand trap off this. So I played like 4 different hand traps in my main deck that were searchable off of Sangan.
Okay.
Initially I was playing draw in the side, but I cut it for the Gamma package because I felt it was more applicable versus small matchups. But obviously this could, Sangan can also search draw, which was a nice application in testing.
Yep.
Then for the P.U.N.K package we played 3 Italy. This is the best card, don't know why it's at 3. 3 Foxy Tune. Like this by itself, because you play Ogre Dance, you can still full combo if, like with a discard, which is pretty good. 2 Xiamen, didn't want to play 3 because you're playing Avenge, you don't want to normal summon. 1 Ogre Dance, this card is crap. This one won me so many games because when you get Scythed or get debarriered, you contribute some of this over a Xiamen and beat over a Baron because this makes it gain, and then if they negate the Xiamen you can chain this and then it will gain 3k, so you can just make your Ogre Dance huge and beat over stuff.
Okay.
So I won 1 game where I got Scythed and 1 game where I got debarried where I just killed with this on board with like an Avenge token, which is pretty good. Then 1 Dear Note. This is a brick, but if you draw it with another P.U.N.K card it's really good because you can like reveal 2 itself and another P.U.N.K in hand, discard 1 and special the other. So if you open this with like a Foxy Tune, you can Foxy Tune effect, discard a card, summon, add, then discard the other card off Dear Note, which is cool. So you can still combo like that if you draw it, which is calm.
Okay.
Then for like other extenders, we played 1 Souls and 1 Illusion. So in this deck, I'm side decking Anti-Spell. So I wanted to wait to make Herald of the Arclights play around Forbidden Droplet.
Yeah.
Which is what this does. Also, if you know your opponent's like not playing like Mystic Mine or whatever, you can just like use this, send Fateful Adventure and Draco back and just draw 2 more cards. Like especially games 2 and 3, that's really broken because like your chance of drawing into a side deck card is a lot higher. You side them out going first though, because like going second against the mirror because they don't beat Scythe, and you want more cards that beat Scythe in your deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, these were really good over the weekend. Like milling them off of Ruler is just broken. I don't play Zombie Vampire, so that's not really applicable. But yeah, no, these were really good, and I'm really glad I played 1-1. Best card in the game right now, ban this please. It's just so disgusting to play against. Like, yeah, if you draw it, it's fine too because you don't have to make Dagda. So a lot of the time you can just make a Herald or a Hot Red too to protect the Scythe, which is just even more bonkers.
Yep.
1 Jet. Why do they unban this? Also, just like it just enables this deck so much. Like 1 Sangan is now just full combo with Dagda, like Dagda set Scythe with Hulk. It's just broken. Yeah, and it makes Hot Red too, which is pretty cool. 1 Snow. This, if you have a really good hand, you can send off a Shooting Riser Dragon, and then it's just another interaction engrave, so it allows you to play around stuff like Dark, well not play around, but sort of play through stuff like Dark Ruler better. Then more broken cards. 3 Enchantress, 1 Foolish, 1 Griffin, 3 Right, 1 Fateful, and 1 Dracoback. Shout out Sammy for lending me the Brave package. And shout out Leon for lending me the P.U.N.K package from Locals, that's my guy right there. These cards are just like, yeah, broken again. Like, even if you get Scythed a lot of the time, if your opponent has a sub-pole board, you can just kill them if you draw this, plus a way to, like, if you open, like, Italy. It's just dumb. Like, they're just so good. Yeah. Like, your deck just feels so much better with those cards in it. Then sort of, like, defensive cards. I played a bit of a weird defensive card count. So I played 3 Ash, 3 Crow. Initially, I was main decking Gamma, but decided to cut it to the side deck. And I also opted to not play the Red Rose package, which my teammates in Circle were sort of conflicted on playing it versus not playing it. And I overall think it's probably better to play it, but I chose not to play it because I tested so much without it that I didn't really feel comfortable with it in the deck. And the Friday night before the event, I hadn't submitted my list, and I was just like, I don't want to play it. I'm just going to play this because I feel like I'm probably going to see like a fair bit of Despia. It's also good in the mirror. Like the only bad matchup that's really like bad against is Flunder, and I only played 2 of those, and one of them I just lost because he just cooked me. He went like 9-1 in Swiss, I think, or 10-0, and then the other one I won, but he shifted me game 2, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Then I chose to play 2 Veiler. This is good because it's a tuner. It's level 1, so with a Griffin you can make Pepega Ruler, which is like nuts. It's the best card in the deck. And also it's light to make Liner, and it's also a spellcaster for Celine. Yeah. So there's so many different applications. So I wanted 2 in deck because if I draw 1, I want to still be able to make the Celine access code play.
Yeah.
And the last hand trap I played was 1 Ghost Ogre.
Okay.
This is a bit weird. So I was sitting with these hand traps. I was on 41 cards. And I was like, one ogre is nice because some of the time, like it's just good to draw. A lot of the time, it's good generically. And like also, if you ogre their Hulk, a lot of the time they can't Scythe you, which is like funny, I guess. Like on their turn, sorry, not on your turn.
Yep.
Yeah, again, it's a level 3. It's light. It's a tuner. I just felt like I wanted like a 9th hand trap in my deck, and I felt like this was the best one to have, so I just chose to play one of it. It's also summonable off E-Telly because it's psychic, which does come up and did come up once for me to make an End Punisher, which is pretty nice. I ran out of Ziamans. Then for other defensive cards, we played 3 Droplet and 1 Cool Buy. Yeah, like obviously you can't win every dice roll, so this for going second. I side out every time going first game 2, and then this, ban this card please, it's disgusting again.
Yeah.
So 42 card main deck. I couldn't really find a way to cut it to 40, so I didn't. I just found the 42 and it's pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
Side deck first, so as I said I cut draw, so I decided to play 3 Gamma and a Driver.
Yep.
This card was pretty good, it came up a few times. Decided him first against Flunder for D-Shifter, but I didn't see it and he didn't see Shifter, so that's fine. There's a few more applications. If you make Baron, you can make a Shooting Riser turn 1 and send Gamma, so it's a level 5, so when you pop your Scythe, you can make another Baron, which is pretty good. I had it happen to me also, which kind of sucks. Yeah, these cards are good. They're just like, it's so good generically going second, like versus every matchup besides like Eldritch. You can side this in and it will have impact if you draw it. So I only drew the Driver once, which is fine, I guess. 3 Nib. I wanted cards for combo along with like the Gamma, so you can't really side this in versus Flunder, but it's good. Like it's really good in the mirror if they don't open the Brave package. And if you open this plus like Ogre, well, that's another thing with Ogre. You can also hit the Griffin with it, or the Fateful, which is disgusting. Like, Ogre on Fateful is just it's so bad because they can't. If you're playing the red row stuff, you need the right stuff to resolve to full combo. If you stop that, it's like really strong. But yeah, this combined with like Vela or Gamma is just ends turns. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was also there for like crap decks like Salad and stuff like that. I love Salad, but that's not the deck. 1 Collector. Sword Soul's a pretty difficult matchup for this deck if it goes first and just opens full board and you don't open like brilliant.
Yeah.
But for, obviously it's good going second. Like if you draw it, it's nuts. Going first, you side 1 and you just send it off a Shooting Riser, and it's like they have to like Dark Roll you and play through this, so it's really hard. Then we played like 1 Feather Duster, 2 Twin Twisters, and 1 Red Reboot.
Okay.
This card should just be in every side deck, pretty much no matter what you're playing, it's broken. I chose to cut the 3rd Twin for the Gamma package, so it was 3 draw and 1 Twin I cut for that. Okay. I'm glad I did. I only played against 2 Flunder. 2 Flunderies I played against, and yeah, like it didn't even matter because he shifted me anyway, so GG. But yeah, these were here for me like Eldritch and stuff like that, sorry.
That's right.
But yeah, it's like, it was okay. I chose to not respect back row because I figured that in the first few rounds of Swiss you won't play against the best of players, so even if they're playing these bad decks you should just be able to beat them. I built my deck for top cut, and unfortunately I got knocked out in top 64, but the theory was there and it carried me pretty well through Swiss. I only played against like 2 Thunderies, so not awful. And the last card is the best side deck card in the game, Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Yeah.
It's just good generically versus everything. If you have Herald and this, your Scythe is basically always resolving. It's really good into Flunder because it stops their map, it stops their quick play, it stops like Prosperity, Duality, it stops Extravagance if they're playing it. Like it's so broken, it stops right, like it's just, yeah. Like if you're playing this deck, you have to play this on the side. I really didn't think D-Barrier was a good card, so I chose not to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just didn't think it did enough. Like I got D-Barrier. At one time I got D-Barrier, I killed him for it against Despia, so I think that card is just like not that great. It's very overhyped. So extra deck tokens, Sky token, and the best token, the Perry token, of course. Okay, extra decks. We played Almirage and Anima.
Yeah.
This came up quite low in testing. It came up once, but it didn't matter. I took a Griffin with it, but it just negated, and then just summon Baron. So for my last cards, it didn't matter. And then Hulk Dagda for the combo.
Yep.
Yeah, standard stuff really. Then we played Dark and Liner.
Yep.
Need to get Starlight out of this. Yeah, these both came up in different ways. I don't think I took many monsters from Grave a lot of the time, like to actually do anything with. I just took them because they're both spellcasters and they make Celine.
Yeah.
So you can't get to Hulk. Like if you have a Snow or like, anything like that, a Snow, like a Sangan that's dead with any other monster, like you can make one of these and it's pretty good. So yeah, definitely glad I played both of those. I cut the Zombie Vampire for the Light Charm and I don't regret it at all.
Okay.
Then Celine Access Code to go with those. Yeah, if you get D-Barrier on Synchro, a lot of the time you can kill with the Adventure package in this card, which I find quite funny. D-Barrier is just not good. Yeah. Then for Synchro, so we played 1-4. Really good card this. So glad I played it. 5. Like you pop Scythe with it. If it gets killed, you get to draw a card, which came up once. I also popped an opponent's back row with it once, just because I can't remember what I did. I think I already scythed, so I just popped the back row. I Baron some back scythe and then just popped the back row in synchro. So that was good. Rise of Dragon, this Sending Snow or against Sword Sending Token Collector is really strong.
Yeah.
Again, also like the Gamma interaction where you send Gamma and then synchro with Scythe into a Baron is also really nice. Obviously, I'm not playing the Red Rose stuff, so that came up a lot less for me, but yeah, it still came up, so good. The best card in the deck, I love this card. This is my favourite card in the game, P.U.N.K Ruler. In P.U.N.K Ruler, we trust. Milling 5 is like so broken because if you haven't known, like a lot of the time you'll start with E-Tele just to make this first and some back examine, so you can always Hulk afterwards. But like, I was so much of the time I was hitting like Magician Souls, Sangan, like Adventure Package, like Enchantress. So like I was always comboing pretty much. If this resolved, which is so nice. And obviously you can summon it back. You can make End Punisher with it. You can make like a Hot Red. A lot of time you just turn it into a Hulk and extend though.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Hot Red, as I said, really good cards. Like allows you to play through like a lot of stuff. Obviously, I'm not playing the Rose Package, so you can't play through Dark Hole or Drop It with it. Like it's fine. Also, I had a game where I drew the Scythe and ended on Hulk with this here, like Hulk and this with Anti-Spell.
Wow.
So like he was not able to like out the Anti-Spell because I had this, so I just won the game because I Scythed him.
Yeah.
And obviously you have a Baron after that too. And here we go, Baron. Like, yeah, part of the combo, really good. Even if game one, even if I knew my opponent was playing like Flunder or Eldritch or something, I would still make this because it's just like a negate, and it's really good. And the last card was End Punisher. This came up a few times for me this weekend. Really strong card, really glad I played it. And yeah, that's it. One last shout out Chinwagon, the best group chat, notorious. And also shout out my boy Sabir. And shout out my boy Morgan, representing Sneak here. Team Sneak! Come on now. Anyway, thank you guys.
Cheers, Sev.
Cheers.
See you in the next one.